right, I am a rotten bastard, I admit it. But I'll tell you something. Even though I got a lot of hate inside, I got some friends who ain't got hate inside. They're filled with nothing but love. Their only crime is smoking a little grass and getting high, looking at the stars at night.
Alright, this is Chill Time with Steve and Chris. I'm Steve.
I'm Chris.
And we're not going to talk much UFC because there's a card this weekend, but it's not that exciting. We're going to do some other shit. We're going to talk about just kind of whatever. So what's new with you?
Not a lot, man.
Yeah,
not a lot.
we've been talking for hours.
It's a good thing we prepared, eh?
We pretty much spent the afternoon together, so I mean, any talking we had to do, we probably pretty much done.
There's a lot of green ribbons up.
There is a lot of green ribbons. We're in Cambridge, Ontario, and there's a little girl who, she got one lung transplant already, and she needs another one?
I really don't know. Yeah, I know
Something about a lung, right?
Yeah,
she needs a lung transplant, and
something about a lung.
Apparently they found a donor already, did they?
We're awesome.
I don't know anything about it, man. I know the story, but I don't know the details.
It's a young girl, her mother's a trimlet.
A what?
A trimlet.
What the fuck is a trimlet?
Right, so that's how...
What does that mean?
That's how Noopies speak. Like, I'm a hickey, her mother's a trimlet. That's her
last name?
Yeah,
That's
yeah. It's not like Sam Squanch, I'm not making up words. She's...
Where'd you come up with Sam Squanch?
Sam Squanch. Sam Squanch.
What's that?
From Trailer Park Boys.
Oh, I don't watch Trailer Park.
Sam Squanch in Trailer Park Boys was like this... not a mystical creature, but it was a creature in the woods, and it was scary. Bubbles especially was scared of it. Scared? Yeah, he was scared of it. He was afraid.
So scared.
And so it was called Sam Squanch. And then when I went to my second year at college, my second program at college, first year, there was a girl in my class who was really, really nasty, ugly. Like, and she wasn't even a nice person. Like, she was just hard to look at, and at least if she was nice, it'd be okay. You know what I mean? That gives her, you know...
She didn't have anything going for her.
Right. But she was just not a very nice girl, and she had a lot going on. But anyway. And, like, she would eat, like, I don't mean a cow as in she'd eat a lot of food. She'd eat with her tongue sticking out and just, like, roll around, like, yolky eggs in the morning. Oh, it was gross.
Yeah, that is gross.
So I started calling her Sam Squanch. Not to her face, but I was like, it's a perfect name. Like, you're a Sam Squanch. So that's Sam Squanch. But anyways, Mrs. is a trimlet.
Oh, yes, trimlet.
And her daughter is 14 years old, Kayla...
Trimlet?
No, it's not Trimlet. And it's not Carter either. I can tell you what it's not. But Baker, Kayla Baker. She needed a transplant. And whether she got it or has the donor, I don't know what. But they're just raising money here in town for it.
Everybody's wearing green.
Everybody's wearing green.
Why green?
Because green is the color of...
money?
No, well, that's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought.
Although, like, in Canada, we got many different colors of our money.
Yeah. Organ donor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, donation of organs is green, right? So that's really what it is. It's not so much to raise money, which I'm sure it is a little, but it's to raise awareness to donate your organs, right? So there's ribbons all over the poles and all that stuff, and everybody's wearing green. And Giant Tiger for 2 days is selling green T-shirts that say something about Kayla. I'm not sure what the slogan is.
Oh, really?
And
you know a lot more about this than I do.
The money goes towards the...
I get all my news from Twitter, so I get it at 130.
I'm not going to lie. I just dropped my parents off at a party, and that's what they were talking about.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so... but what I did hear, I was in Hamilton this morning, and I heard on the radio, or not the radio, the news, TV news, and I'm not sure if it was Hamilton news or what news, but they were talking about Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge area and talking all about this, and that there have been money donations from as far as Ireland.
Oh, really? Go fucking Taffin.
Oh. From as far as Ireland. So, that they're raising a lot of awareness, I guess.
But it's like they said, I mean, I'm aware now. You know, it's
like
I kind of knew the story before, but I didn't know that much of what. Like, I still obviously don't know that much. I know there's a lung transplant involved. That's pretty much where it ends.
And they're here saying, some people are saying, it's wonderful and it's beautiful that everybody's wearing green, but even if just half of those people sign their donor card.
Yeah.
Right? Like, wear all the green you want, but we went on, where we didn't actually go on the march.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's like that. Like, don't march for something you're not willing to
back up,
right? We were willing to go there, but we were willing to march.
I wasn't even willing to march. We missed it. Remember, we showed up, they're all coming back. But that's kind of the thing, because the march we were on, it was easy to forget things, you know, like.
Yeah. But that's the Kayla story.
That's cool.
Lots of green.
My son, actually, we were talking, I don't know if we were talking about this story or if we were just talking in general, and something about organ donating. And he's all like, fuck that, I'm not going to get anybody my stuff, that's mine. And I started explaining, I'm like, why do you care? Like, once you're gone, it's no use to you. But somebody else could live. And I started explaining stuff to him, and he kind of softened on it, but you could tell it's still, like, weird enough. But I mean, he's 17, you know, like.
I remember when I went for my second knee surgery. They took ligaments from a cadaver, so the actual ACL ligament from a cadaver, which ain't an organ or anything like that, right? But the night before I was going for the surgery, there's a movie with Jessica Alba, I'm not sure what it is, where she gets an eye transplant, and then she starts seeing everything that person's eyes saw, right? Flashbacks. And it was freaky. Like, it was a freaky...
That rings a bell to me.
Right?
I don't think I've watched it.
So, I mean, I was 20... Doesn't matter how old I was. 22, something like that. And for my second one. And, like, it scared me. Like, when I went in for my surgery, I was like, man. But then I was thinking, it'd be awesome if I
don't want to kick what this guy kicked.
Yeah, that's right. But I was thinking, if this guy was an college basketball player, maybe I can jump a little or something.
Yeah. Maybe I'll be better at things.
Yeah.
Instead, you won't ride a bike.
But really, though, if somebody didn't donate that body, I wouldn't have got that ligament, but it doesn't matter because I blew the same ligament out 2 years later. So it was really a waste. Sorry, guy.
I was listening to a podcast, and I don't know which one it was, but they were talking about knee surgeries, because I know you got, like, the scars and stuff like that. And they were talking about, like... Yeah, they were talking about hockey players, and how hockey players have to, like, they'll blow their knees out, they got to get surgeries, and you always know these guys because they'll be walking around in shorts in the summertime, but they'll just have, like, their knees are just destroyed. But then they started talking about how it's like that kind of surgery isn't necessarily necessary, and they were talking about how it's like, yeah, you fix it, but it's not right, blah, blah, blah. And then I thought about you, because you do have the scars and stuff, so obviously they went in and started butchering some shit up, you know? And I'm just like, I'm wondering, just hearing from them, it's just like, well, like, what could you have done? You know, is there something different? Do you know of anything? Like, I don't know.
Other than, well, see, the way I look at it is, I totally blew my ACL. So I look at the ACL, even though it's nothing like this, but I sort of look at it as an elastic band.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So if that snaps, I mean, it's not like it's going to regrow. It's not, you know what I mean? You're just...
But you put in the new one in, I mean, and then it snapped again, right?
Yeah, but that's my own stupidity, because I just continued to do the same stuff I was doing. Working hard. Well, you know, supposed to be working hard. And just still at the gym, just not caring about my leg and stuff like that. And so I didn't develop the muscle the right way around it, or I pushed too hard, and it snapped again. So that was my own fault. But yeah, I'd say it's not like you... It's important. It's very important. It's an important ligament.
Oh, yeah, it's fucking...
Yeah.
Can't move without it, obviously, you know?
But you can. I went...
But I hear about ACL tears and stuff, and
yeah.
it's just like, it's common. Like,
yeah,
it happens to a lot of people, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually surprised I haven't had something like this, you know? Like,
and you know what? You hear it a lot about it in sports, because of all the impact, but like a lot of people just get it day to day. Not day to day, not like, oh, I went to get the mail and boom, blew it, not like that. But, you know, I got mine falling off a tractor.
Falling off what?
A tractor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the first time. Second time I got it because somebody jumped on my back. And all the weight. And then the third time I just stepped off the bus. I took a step and that was it. It was like, oh, my foot hit grass and buckled.
I did that to my friend. I kind of broke his ankle. I didn't technically break it. It was probably already broken, right? But he was in football. Big guy, 6'8", whatever. And high school, he was in football, right? So I guess he had gone to football and he had kind of tweaked it or something like that. No, I'm completely lying. The story's completely backwards. It's, no, I fucked it up. Yeah. It was me and a friend.
All right, it wasn't a friend, it was me.
Yeah, it was, totally. Me and my buddy went to, a bunch of us would go at lunchtime to Gino's with pizza. Which
No.
And why not?
I'm sorry.
No, you gotta...
I'm not saying whoops.
Okay, we got cut off there for a sec. But we're back, whatever. I'm just gonna splice it all together anyway. So my buddy, so we all went down to Gino's. And we'd all hang out. And I don't know what was going on, but him being a big guy, one of my friends jumped up on his back and was like kind of wrestling on him and stuff, right? And he was standing on the side, and for some reason I wanted to fucking knock him down. I thought, well, with Buddy on his back, he's going to be off balance. So I just went upside him and I just like body checked him. Bam! Smashed right into him. And he was standing right beside the curb, which was like a step down, right? So with the Buddy on his back, I fucking hit him. And he goes off the curb and his ankle just rolls. And he's got a guy on his back. And he just goes down. I shouldn't be laughing about it.
And the other guy goes down an extra feet.
But he just kind of rolled, right? But yeah, man. Yeah. And he's like, right? And it hurts and it's kind of swollen and stuff. But like, he could still walk. I don't know, like, I think he sprained it. I don't know that he broke it, you know? But what happened is, my story was in reverse before. He was in football, so he went to the coach, and the coach was kind of an asshole, right? And he didn't like this guy very much, but he liked to fuck around in class, you know? Like, he liked to be a smartass, you know? He was like the class clown guy, and he was good at it, so teacher didn't like him very much. And so he's like, oh, coach, man. He's like, I fucked up my ankle, you know. And it's like, you know, maybe could I sit out practice? He's like, what are you, a fucking pussy? Blah, and starts yelling at him. So, of course, he doesn't want to look like a pussy because everybody's standing there. So he goes and suits up and goes out onto the field. And then he broke it.
Don't you realize you're playing for Jacob Hessler football team? In Cambridge, we're going to do
That's all it was.
things.
I just pushed him over. And I'll tell you, man, that guy's ankle was never the same after that, man. He'd break it all the fucking time. Or not break it, but like severely sprain it. It's like it would happen over nothing. We were at Club Abstract, this like gothy club for people that don't know. What is it, gothy club?
No,
kind of like a rock club.
A good place to go on Friday.
Oh, I like it, yeah. But they have like retro and they have like rock the one night. I don't know. It's not like a dance club, you know? But we had gotten there and we were going in, and all of a sudden, like, he went to start running after somebody because he's a big guy, so he likes to be an ass and throw people around and shit for fun, right? It is fun. But, yeah, so we went to sidestep, he went to run, and there was a fucking pothole in the ground, but it's nighttime, so he didn't see the pothole. He stepped into it and fell over, and his ankle stayed, you know, and he went down. And the person in the car didn't want to let him stay in the car because motherfucker was like green. Like, he was just like, I don't want him puking in my car. So we made him come into the club, and we're inside, and he's just like sweating and like, oh, and eventually, I don't know what happened. I think we had to leave, but he was a mess. And there was another time where we were at a Biff Naked concert, but it was in the Lyric, which is like another little nightclub down there. It's called Elements now, whatever. But it was a little concert hall, and we went there to see them, and there wasn't a lot of people there, right? But there was a little mosh pit in the front. So I'm like, come on, man, let's go mosh, right? And he's a big fucker, right? So I get out there, and I'm banging around and stuff, and I'm having a great time. And then he was out there, but he was just kind of standing there. You know, he wasn't doing anything. And all of a sudden, he finally goes. He's like, bam! He goes to mosh somebody. Well, nobody wants to get hit by the 6'8", like 300-pound dude, right? So the guy jumps out of the way, and he kind of falls. But at the same time, somebody knocked into him from the other direction, and there goes the ankle. And he's like, I want to go home. And we're just like, dude, we paid for this concert, so we had him sit in the back. We were mean people, but it was hilarious.
At what age did that stop happening? You just said like he was the type of guy to jump up when he'd see you jump up on someone's back, be an asshole, and you said it's fun. You said it is fun. And it is fun. So what age, like, why at...
No, him grabbing people and throwing people.
But, okay,
like, you'd be walking down, we'd be walking down, and he'll probably hear this one day. So, and maybe we'll even have him on one day. It'll be funny. Because he'll tell these stories better than I do, because he says it with conviction, because he's angry. But because nobody has sympathy for him, because it happens so fucking often. So no, everybody after a while you just get used to it. It's like I'm not screwing my day for this guy and his ankle again, you know. So, but yeah, you just say you're walking down the street. And he's a big motherfucker. Like I'm a tall guy, but he makes me look small. But you're walking down the street and you're just talking. He's just talking, right? And you're talking. To say there's three of you, right? And so this person's walking kind of out and they're doing whatever, staring at the sky. And then he's talking to you and whatever. And all of a sudden he'll just he's still looking at you and he'll just reach and grab them around the hips and go, whoop, and fucking next thing you know, they're up in the air upside down. And it's
How old is this guy now?
My age.
Okay, so that's what I'm asking. At what age does that stop happening? Like, why?
Never.
You don't see.
No.
He still does it?
Oh, I'm sure he does. I don't know if he has. I haven't seen him in a couple of years,
He doesn't still pick people up off the street at 35 years old. Maybe he does.
He could do it for fun, man. I mean, I can see him doing it. Like
Walking out of giant tiger.
because when the fuck did men grow up,
No.
And why not?
I'm sorry.
No, you gotta...
I'm not saying whoops.
Okay, we keep getting fucking cut off.
I say we just start.
Because my girlfriend keeps fucking calling. She didn't know we were recording. But anyway.
Well,
We're laughing because we had this huge thing talking about our height and all this shit. And I personally thought it was funny. And we were going to do something. And I'm not even going to bring it up because we're not going to try to redo it. But so it just got lost to the netherworld. But, yeah. We realized we weren't recording that of that time.
But fuck it.
But
You were
fuck
here.
it.
You were here swimming in your sorrow. Not swimming in your sorrow. Standing on your high horse, saying, "Oh,
I'm taller."
For years, I used to think I was 6'2". Now I'm 6'3". Like, oh, that sounds 6'3" sounds better because it's above average. And I pointed.
Well,
out
because no, I was saying above average tall. Like
Above average
an average tall person is 6'2".
Right.
He's
And
giving me this look like fuck you.
But I pointed out that I'm 5'8", maybe 5'9", right? So,
But I said,
So
like,
I'm like,
you only
I'm not-
you're like, oh, I fucking, what did you say? See, we're recapping now.
Yeah, I know.
But like,
Don't matter.
you're like, oh, you stopped fucking growing it because I stopped growing years ago.
Yeah.
And I said, you're only 29, and you fucking see, right? You're 29, right? You
Yeah,
just
I
turned,
just
right?
turned 29. Going backwards like Benjamin Button.
Yes. But, like, so you only stopped growing a year ago. You could be 5'10".
Man, that would have been funny if we had that.
None of you know what it is. None of you are ever going to hear it. Oh, fuck.
We got water, didn't
Yeah, we did. We got 2 cases. That's 48 freaking waters.
that guy that was going around, and I've seen it before, going around little aisled stores like supermarkets or Zellers or something like that, but going around with one of those outdoor scooters. I don't care what you say, it's an outdoor scooter, belongs outdoors.
That thing's huge.
It
It
was
had a
huge.
big canopy
It
on
was
it.
a camo on it, and he had like vinyl
He had a-
shielding.
Yeah, it was like a little house.
And he's just booting around like his own little tank for grocery shopping.
Yeah, don't get in my way. He started backing up. I was reaching for butter, man, and he didn't know I was there or something. I don't know. He saw me because I walked past him to get around him, right? And all of a sudden he just starts backing up. And I'm just like kind of jumping out of the way. I'm not going to say anything. What are you going to say to that, That little lady in the freaking toilet paper aisle was hilarious. You should get this stuff because it's on sale. This is a really good price, blah, blah, blah. When she's going to grab this big file, I'm like, that's like $18. She's like, no, it's on sale for like $2.99. I'm like, things don't, like, I didn't say that obviously, but I'm sitting there thinking like things don't go from $18 to
But you had the
$2.99.
same. You had the same pack, 30 pack.
But it was a lesser brand. Like that wasn't
Oh,
cashmere.
okay.
She had cashmere.
Oh,
right?
she had the good stuff.
Yeah, which is what we got. Just a smaller package. But yeah, let's talk about my TP. So. Anyway, Chris, I was thinking of checking out a little news.
All right.
I had an idea just to look up fucked up news stories and just kind of throw them at you and see where we go with it. I think it'd be kind of funny. So I've done some research, and I haven't really read the actual stories. I think 1 or 2 maybe I read the actual story of, but
So what you read? Look at the picture.
no, I read the headline.
Oh, the headline.
But I didn't go into the actual story in a lot of them. A couple of them I did.
So what you want us to do is make up a story based off a headline?
No, I'm going to read it now. But I'm just saying I was looking through some.
I got you. Did I tell you about the time last week I thought I saw a two-headed Jack Russell?
What?
Yeah. I was driving and I thought I saw a two-headed Jack Russell.
Was it just two walking beside each other?
But perfectly in line where you saw 4 legs and 2 heads. That's it. It was perfectly in line. No leashes, no nothing. Not even like you saw 2 leashes. They were just walking with their owner. I was like, holy shit, that's a two-headed Jack Russell. But it wasn't.
All right, sir. So I'm on the TorontoSun.com. Give props to the person, to the site. So I'll give you the headline. We'll start from there. All right. Strange pics of naked people, sex dolls spark internet mystery.
Say it again.
Strange pics of naked people, comma, sex doll spark internet mystery.
All right.
I know. That's got to catch your eye immediately.
Like, are people just randomly setting up sex dolls naked in the streets of Toronto?
No, it gets, I'll give you the first paragraph. An odd series of photos of a naked woman chasing a naked man holding a sex doll through the streets of Beijing is the latest internet fascination in China.
Really?
So there's pictures of a naked dude running around with a fucking sex doll.
After a woman?
No, the woman
running after him,
who's also naked, is chasing him.
Did he steal her sex doll?
Maybe he cheated on her with the sex doll?
That'd be hilarious. She's running after him, you fucking asshole. But of course in Chinese.
I'll give you a little more. Images have been spreading like wildfire on social media in the country, but nobody knows who they're of, whether they're staged or where they came from. Is this a real life temple run? Wrote one blogger. Anyway.
What's a temple run?
Temple Run is a game. You don't know that game? It's
No.
You can get it as like an app on your iPhone, iPad.
You just
And
run
it's
around
a guy that's running in a straight line, and it's like he's on a path, right? So you get to the end, and you got to turn. So you like swipe the screen, and then he turns that way. You swipe this way, and you can go up like that and swipe up with your finger, and he'll jump over shit and stuff. It's a pretty popular game. I don't know. I'm not that into it. But yeah, man. So there are naked people with sex dolls running around Beijing.
And it's running wild. It's running wild online. And what's that's cool.
Yeah, not much discussion there.
Next.
Okay. This one is, I don't know, it's kind of fucked up. The headline is "Give Dogs Medical Marijuana," like :vet. So now that many U.S. states have legalized marijuana possession and use, a veterinarian says people aren't the only ones who should be able to benefit from the occasional puff. Pot can also help dogs with chronic pain or other debilitating conditions. No, blowing pot smoke in your pooch's face is not cool, Dr. Doug Kramer says in an interview with the Vice magazine. But Kramer said after he dosed his dog Nikita suffering from terminal cancer, she was up and around and had better quality of life until she reached the end. Medical marijuana can also be used to give cats the munchies. We're using it on cats as an appetite stimulant.
Why, do cats have trouble eating sometimes?
I don't know. I've never heard of that.
That's, sounds like it's like Scooby-Doo. Like Scooby-Doo's making a new movie, a spin-off with Shaggy. And
I'll get some too!
Yeah.
Scooby Snacks. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
What do you
know.
think? Do you think there's any merit to that? Like, I'm not even saying that, obviously medical marijuana does have uses to a point, I think it's a little bit overblown. But giving it to dogs, like you said, just blowing it in their face is not cool. Okay, so what is the alternative?
Yeah, so what do you do? Make them eat it?
And they don't
make a brownie?
Maybe, put it in some meat. Mix it up with some beef.
But No, I don't agree with it. And this is going to sound really stupid because it's a dog, but I don't agree with it. Because people who smoke marijuana made that choice. You're just shoving it in your dog's face.
Yeah.
Is that abuse?
And the thing is, especially if you eat it, it could potentially be a hallucinogen, right?
Yeah.
So, and especially you don't know how it reacts to dogs or animals in general. So, yeah.
Much like people.
Imagine this dog's just like, whoa, freaking out.
Much like people, yeah. I'd say, like, you know, a bulldog would just, like, lounge back on the couch and be like, yeah, this is cool. Like, I'm just stoned. Where's Tiger Woods golf? Let's play a tournament kind of thing. But, like, a big dog, like a Rottweiler or something, I think they'd be real skittish.
I've seen, I had a friend who, his dog ate a big brick of hash. And he was so pissed off, and he brought it to the park that we were all hanging out at. And he let it off the leash. And this thing was a hyper dog normally. But I'm telling you, dude, it was just like zoom, 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 just like picking off everything, just flying, just going crazy. And me and my buddy, we're like teenagers, we're all blazed out, and we're laughing and stuff, so we started fucking chasing the stupid dog around. And then all of a sudden it just chilled out, and it was just like sitting there, eyes mostly closed, just like, oh. Just like, it's like it created this big, huge burst of energy, and then it just died. So. News stories aren't that exciting.
No, not those ones. Not those ones. We gotta find it. We'll find it. Look, there's newspaper right here.
Yeah, just get regular news. Because, yeah, I've specifically looked up for weird news.
On the road again?
I guess we don't want to talk about, like, people dying and shit, right? That's not cool.
Well, I guess, what's his name died? Passed away? Ebert. From Siskel and Ebert?
I thought...
No, Siskel's gone.
Ebert went too?
He went yesterday or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, they're both gone. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I saw on the news that Ebert was a big role in making Oprah.
How so?
He suggested to her, apparently, I saw on the news.
You should do a show.
You should have not syndicated, you should have a daily talk show, afternoon talk show. No, I'm sure a lot of people told her that.
I'm sure a lot of people have told a lot of people that. Like, anybody that you think is funny or, like, inquisitive or something like that, you could say that too, really. I think it's a sham. No, I don't know. I don't care either way. Like, I don't care about him as a person. Like, I don't know him. I'm not a big movies and I love critics, you know. But they were kind of a staple. That's the exact word I was looking for.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they were a staple and like.
Apparently, they were the first to get a. Don't know if it was they or Ebert, both of them, or Siskel. One, I don't know, but the first to get the first critic to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame or whatever.
Oh, they have them?
Yeah,
really. You know, you got to pay for that.
Really?
Yeah.
So they make it sound like it's an award, but
you have to get voted to have it. But it costs a certain amount of money to get it done. You know, I think it's like 10 grand or 25 grand. Because you got to think, they got to build the star, whatever it takes, like whatever it costs to build the actual star. Carving out the place for it on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. There's a ceremony, so you got to block off the streets, and that's cost the city a certain amount of money and shit, right? So it all costs, because Adam West went in like a year and a half, 2 years ago. This guy Ralph Garman that does Hollywood Babylon, he's on a lot of shows. He does a lot of Joe Schmo. He's the host of Joe Schmo. He's he's a friend of Adam West because they both worked on Family Guy together. But he's a huge Batman fan. This guy's got a Batman vault with all this crazy shit. And
he's got a Batcave.
Yeah, and I think he's even got a bookcase that he goes behind to get into it. Like the door is a bookcase, I don't know. He's told stories about it. Either way, that's not the part. But yeah, he did a podcast and he did a few live events and stuff like that to try to raise money so he could get his.
But isn't that sort of like, if you just won MVP at 14 years old playing Little League baseball, and then walking up to you with like a 3.5-foot trophy and hand it to you and everybody clapping and then
That'd be
whispering to you,
$300.
yeah, you owe me $25. Like, hey kid, which ones are your parents?
But I guess in a lot of people's ways, like, especially when you think of, like, huge stars, I'm sure there's, like, a friend of theirs that's also a celebrity or a producer, who knows.
Yeah.
That's probably just like, you know what, I got this, whatever, right?
Birthday.
And I don't know that Adam West has, well, he did have that because somebody did that for him, but they just did it in a different way.
Yeah, Robin.
But, I don't think those two are friends. Burt Ward, the guy that played Robin, I think those two are, I don't know. I've heard stories and I don't know enough about it, so I'm going to stop there. So I just know there was some kind of heat back in the day.
Yeah, sexual tension.
Burt Ward wanted to be bigger than he was, you know.
Well, but he's Robin. He knew that taking on the role.
Yeah, you're going to stay Robin, you know. It's like Robin's not going to grow into much, you know.
Not until many years later when we try and make a Robin movie.
Yeah, once the sidekick, always the sidekick. We started so strong. Here's a more local story. Brockville, Ontario. Parrot's cries fool police into breaking into Brockville, Ontario apartment.
Really?
Yeah. So police were there for some reason. Well, we'll find out.
Yeah,
Brockville, Ontario. Not too far from here. How far, do you know?
I have no idea where it is.
Doesn't matter. Police.
You don't know where it is either.
No, I know it's in Ontario, and I know I've drove through it. I know I've seen the sign. You know, like I'm like that with a lot of cities. You know, it's like people say, "Do you know this place?" I know I've been there at one point. You know, as much as I saw the sign. You know, as I was driving through. Anyway, police had every reason to fear someone was in distress when they heard what sounded like a woman's screams coming from the intercom of a Brockville, Ontario apartment building on Sunday. But when they broke through the door, they found the perp was a parrot.
Really? How the fuck did the parrot learn how to use the intercom?
That's a damn good question. Why would they hear it?
Yeah.
It was probably left on for
was
some
it one
reason.
of those that were on a phone and you just, when you take the phone off, maybe you hit a pound, I don't know.
Well, why is he not in a cage? Why is the phone within reach of this parrot? Somehow the intercom of Mary Brown's apartment, Mary Brown, became, oh, they've got a typo here, became stuck in the on position, and a passerby called police after hearing the parrot's cries. Brown, 30 years old, a local nurse, had just gone to bed after a 12-hour shift when police broke through the door. But how is she sleeping with this fucking thing screaming?
Well, maybe she just does. Maybe she's used
Yeah, because parrots are fucking loud, man. I had a friend who had his parents had a parrot, man. That thing would be, they kept it in the laundry room because it was so damn loud. And it's just like, why do you own it then? You know, it's like, oh, it's fucking ridiculous.
Can you imagine being in bed, just hearing the door fly open, cop?
Stop what you're doing! Fuck. That'd be insanity. That'd be awesome, though. Not awesome, but it would be fucking hilarious. If you were the person in the apartment across the hall, that'd be great. You'd be like looking through your peephole. Holy fuck. I came out of my bedroom screaming like a banshee, she says. Now the parrot's screams have turned into her actual screams, and they probably still think there's some motherfucker in the bedroom that's been trying to kill this bitch.
She just screamed, guys!
Yeah, they probably didn't distinguish between the two screams. Yeah. They're just like, oh shit. It'd be hilarious if they ran past her.
Get on the floor!
The first thing they said was, oh, it's the bird.
That's awesome.
It's a fucking bird. Oh, this is a good one. These people are ridiculous.
These cops
and sighed in relief. And I said, oh, it's the police.
Yeah.
That's insanity. Given the wide range of sounds her parrot gobbler can make, Brown says she doesn't fault the officers for their actions. If I was a police officer, I would have probably used the same judgment, added Brown.
That's wild.
Oh my god,
And
my
those cops
cheeks
in
are...
Brockville, Ontario are probably like, yes, We got all that SWAT equipment in there that we've never tried on.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
like, let's do this. We're gonna make news.
We're gonna get these.
headlines.
We're gonna save this woman. She's not dead yet. We can still hear her screaming. And then the fact that it turns from the parrot's noise to her fucking screaming.
Probably some constable. He's
Oh.
like, I'm gonna turn detective on this one.
Yeah. And you got, oh my god. And you know that the minute they finish, they're like, fuck,
Yeah.
we're gonna end up on this news.
Fuck that. We gotta go back to the precinct. Like, all the other guys, when they're parking their car, are gonna point at us and laugh.
Yeah, we gotta be seen now, like, looking like fucking idiots. That's awesome. That's a really good story. And that's local, that's cool. It'd be great to be the person on the, like, you know, behind the people in the department across. Because that's what people do in apartments, you
That's
know?
what
like,
people do everywhere.
Yeah, true. Well, you get windows in houses. Apartments, you just get the people.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what's going on.
Then you get those people with the magnified peepholes. Those are the ones that stick way out of the door.
Yeah, and then you see the face all like more like funhouse mirror shit.
When there's nobody there, it's like you're looking at things underwater. It's just like this full panoramic view of the hallway. Nothing.
Now, I've been that guy where I've looked through the people. It's like, what the fuck is that? What are the people saying? You know? Yeah.
Could you take a picture small enough? Probably not.
Small enough for.
Could you take a picture small enough of the hallway empty, and small enough that if you like somehow attached it to the other side of the people, when they looked in it, it would look like it's the hallway?
It would have to be like the perfect distance away and shit.
No, but if you
Because you can't stuck it right to it, because all they're going to see is black, you know?
Oh, they need.
But
light.
say if you put it on like a little stick.
Yeah.
It had it, but just had it enough that they don't see the edges, you know?
Would they think it's?
Although, I don't know, you might, do you get a panoramic view in the,
people?
yeah, you kind of do a little bit, right?
But even if the you sort of do those big
Not a
ones, you
lot.
definitely do. The big ones, you
Yeah,
do.
the big ones I don't think you
Yeah,
get
but
away
the
with.
normal size ones. But even like whatever, can you take a picture of whatever you would normally see and have it there, and just like pull a prank on someone, like fill the hallway with like I don't know balloons or something. Knock on the door.
Oh, and then have the thing so they open the door.
Yeah.
There's a picture on the door. And the...
No, you're dumb.
Well, they would obviously see the picture on the door.
Yeah, afterwards they would, but if they're looking through the peephole and it's empty, and then all of a sudden you knock on the door and they open it's full of balloons.
Oh, so you're going to hold up the picture and then
Like,
run?
is there a way to get it small enough that you can put it right in
It's
front?
not about whether it's small enough. I think it's about like where it is, like in relation to the door, like how far away it is. You have to, and you probably have to maybe get like a panoramic photo.
Or the other way around. Have a picture of like the hallway on fire. How would you do that? I don't know. But have that.
Oh,
and
Photoshop.
hold it up and bang on the door. Get out of the apartment! Get out! They open up, there's nothing wrong.
Are they? But if somebody's banging on the door and screaming, "Get out, fire!" Like you're not looking through the peephole.
You probably would. I bet you looked through the peephole once.
Yeah, some people would. Some people would just react. Not that it matters. I mean, it'd be funny either way. No, it would be fucking illegal either way.
Yeah, it would be illegal, I bet.
You can't be doing that, especially in apartments, man. Apartments are too freaky like that. Oh, dude. I can never own a parrot, man. Have you ever owned a bird?
No, God, no.
I had budgies years and years ago, and I'd sit there watching TV, and it was two of them, and they would just fucking all the time. And I would be sitting there trying to watch TV, and I'd be trying to listen to whatever's being said, and these stupid things are going, you know, and I would just whip the freaking controller at the cage.
Did Ashley ever have a parrot? No, it wasn't Ashley.
No.
Somebody had, not a parrot, a budgie bird. Somebody had a little bird. I don't even know if it was a budgie bird. I don't know. I'm not.
I don't think she likes birds. I think
So it wasn't hers. But somebody had one. They would let it, not like all the time fly around, but, 10 minutes a night, or, it would just let it go around. Eventually it would go back into the thing and they close it. Who was that? Doesn't matter. I could have dreamt that. I've been having these dreams lately, man, and I've been having them lately and a lot, where I don't have teeth. And it really bothers me. Like, I'm missing, like, the first 4 front of my teeth. And in my dream, I'm feeling, and you know that feeling when you lose a tooth and it's smooth and there's like a little bumpy thing.
Yeah.
Right? That's the other part of your tooth. It's on the inside.
Yeah.
But I have these dreams where I got no teeth. It's bothering me. It's not bothering me.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. I do. Someone told me that it's an anxiety. You got anxiety, which could be true. Very well be. But it's a weird way of showing it in the dream. And what's that have to do with anxious? No teeth.
I'd be anxious if I didn't have teeth.
Yeah. I guess you're right. I guess you're
I'd be
right.
like, I look ridiculous, I can't eat.
See, and then part of me, I wake up and then I always think for like a day, am I like taking good care of my teeth? Should I be doing more?
I have a friend who's like a real hygiene freak. He might hear this, so I shouldn't say too much. And I'm not going to name him. But back in the day, we used to go clubbing a lot or go raving, whatever. And I'd always go to his house and we'd do some pre-partying and then we'd go off to wherever. And every single time I knocked on that door, he'd open the door and he'd have a toothbrush in his mouth or he'd had floss in his teeth or something. You know, he was always like, he didn't smoke. But yeah, he loved his fucking teeth, man. He took good care of them. I don't even know if he ever went to the dentist. I don't think he had to. You know, he was that into it, you know. Some
Like,
people
what would
are.
it be like to have a dentist as a father? Like, will you be on your ass all the time, brush your teeth, like when you're a kid? Brush your teeth. Oh, come on, it's Friday cleaning day.
I'm sure some are. I'm sure some probably are so like, I don't give a fuck. I've dealt with so many people without teeth.
Because would you go
But I
see
don't
a
give a
dentist
shit.
whose kids had shitty teeth? Like, is that his... That's when I go to an optometrist and he's got glasses on. I'm like, fuck you.
No, that's good, because then he's dealt with all this. He knows if you're not seeing things right, that he knows what you're seeing.
All right, that's
like
true.
me, I've never owned glasses. You don't want me for an optometrist. I don't know anything about not having good vision, you know? It's just like...
That's true. So I guess it's really only dentists. Like, if you had
Yeah, dentist, that's different, yeah.
If you went
If
to a
these
dentist-
kids got green teeth and they're all rotten out of their head and it's all chuckle fucking tooth kids, I'd be like, oh, man.
Your dentist's always been weird? Like, is that part of the profession? I've only
I don't
had
technically
one-
have a dentist anymore. I used to have this guy, Dr. Houston. Great guy, older guy. Very, just cool with you. He didn't fucking go after you, you know, like, I don't know. Because I found some dentists are rough, and I'll get to that part of the story in a second. But I had him, and I always liked him. He was a good dude, you know, very laid back. And I went there for years. And I guess he retired, and this other guy came in. And I won't bother naming him because I'm not going to say anything nice about him. Because this guy was an asshole.
It's whoever took over for the last doctor he named.
he
Whoever
was-
you are.
He was, yeah.
I'm not going to say your name, but you know
No.
who you are.
Yeah, but whatever. Fuck him. He's an asshole. Dr. Rob, there. I don't know if that was his first or last name, but fuck him. But yeah, he was just he was this bigger dude, but not like an intimidating looking bigger dude. He was like, you know, like but he was taller and he was kind of heavier, right? But he was at the same time, it's like, even though he was a bigger stature, like you look at him like, you know, like I would just destroy you. Like, not that I want to fight him. Like, there was times where I did, and that's probably why I thought about it. I sized him up a little. Because just before Dr. Houston left, I hate getting needles in my gums, man. That's the worst shit in the world to me. Like,
Yeah.
no pain is anything like that. I fucking hate it. And they started getting this stuff that they do primarily with kids, where they put this like really thick gel, and it's kind of like Oragel. It's stronger though, and it's thicker. So they cake the inside, and then when they put the needle in, you're so numb that you feel the needle and feel the pressure, but you don't know where your gum starts and the gel ends,
I
right?
can feel it now as you're explaining.
Right, yeah, it's hard. Oh, it's so bad. But that's funny because I was feeling my gums like tingled a little bit. But so he did that, and I was like, this is the fucking key, you know, because I hate it. That's the one thing I hate more than almost anything else in the world is getting those needles, you know? So I'm like, this is it. This is like, you know, like fucking Event Horizon. I've got it, you know? Like, this is, you know, this is where it's at. This is going to change dentistry, you know? So then all of a sudden Dr. Rob comes in, and I'm like getting something done where I needed a needle, filling probably. So he gets out the needle. I'm like, yeah, you guys got that gel? And he literally said to me, and he wasn't like a cool guy that could get away with this, you know? He's like, what are you, a pussy? And I just looked at him, and of course, and I was younger. I was in my like early mid-20s, you know? So I didn't want to be a pussy. So, but at the same time, I'm like, fuck you. I looked at him like, fuck you, right? But like, then I didn't take it because I didn't want to look like a
Didn't
pussy.
want to look like a pussy.
But that was the moment I sized him up. The minute he said that, I looked him up and down like, are you kidding me? Like, I would destroy you, man. Like, come on.
My dentist is and always has been not too far from my house. And that period there where I wasn't driving, I'd walk everywhere, right? So it's like, a 20-minute walk, but most of it's uphill, up St. Andrew Street Hill. So I went down not to get a filling put in or a cavity fixed or whatever they do with cavity. And they put cotton. But the tubes of cotton, not tube, but it's cylinder shaped.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Not cotton balls.
The
gauze things,
yeah,
right? And they put them
but
on
it's
both
like a
sides
roll.
and they did what they had to do. And I didn't feel it. But my face is numb because I got that same needle, right? So my whole face is numb. And they're like, okay, carry on. So I paid my bill and all that kind of stuff. And I started walking home and realized I'm drooling all over myself, right? And I'm like, whatever. It was like, it's because I'm numb. And I keep walking and walking.
And you feel like your face is like fucking so fat.
And my mouth keeps getting dry and I can't contain water in it somehow and I didn't know why. All of a sudden I sneeze and 2 cotton things come flying out of my mouth.
They forgot to take them out.
I had no idea. I was like, that's why I'm dry. It keeps absorbing all. It just went shooting right out. Scared the shit out of me. But I was thinking, like, what if I swallow one or choked on one? I'd have no idea what's going on. No idea what's in my throat. And no way to explain it to somebody walking by. I can't eat.
Good. What?
Yeah, they just shot right out of my mouth.
That's fucked up.
But it's my own fault because my mother always said, cover your mouth when you sneeze. I never did. I could have caught him and put him right back in.
Well, you do, but you do it at certain moments. You don't always do it. I don't always do it.
Probably because my face was numb and I couldn't feel the sneeze coming.
But I would put like fucking, like if I'm out, I'll just kind of turn my head and, bang.
Let the wind take it.
Well, if he's behind me, he's behind me. Fuck that guy.
Shotgun it right down his throat.
Yeah, there you go. No, we're not those kind of people. We respect people around us. We're Canadian.
You're Canadian. Speaking about Canadian, my sister called Netflix, and what happened was she was on Netflix. She couldn't get back in, but when she tried to get back in, it said it's not in your area. Netflix is not yet in your area. So she called and was talking to Mrs. and she's like, yeah, it says it. She's like, well, where are you from? She said, Ontario, Canada. She said, she goes, ma'am, I don't really know where that is. And she's like, Ontario, Canada. She's like, I don't know. I'm from Texas. In Texas. She didn't know Ontario, Canada.
You say Toronto.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh. Yeah, I don't know if she'd still know on a map. But like you think that somebody who works there who's supposed to be dealing with other places, like at the very least, if she doesn't know, has a map to be like, oh, okay, you're here. Yeah. With highlighted areas of where their service is located.
No, but not even that. Maybe she didn't say Ontario, Canada. She explained to me, she just said Canada. Mrs. said, I don't know where that is.
You don't know where Canada is?
That's what my sister
Look up.
said. Yeah, that's right. Well, you should know where it is. You only got 2 types of Netflix, American and Canadian.
Yeah, well, that we know of. Do they have it in, like, the UK or shit?
I have no idea.
Neither do I. I'm not going to look. I don't care enough to find out.
But I'm starting to love that thing, Netflix.
Yeah, I want it back.
It's so good. And some people have said to me, oh, yeah, but it's all older movies. But I was like, you know what? It's enough older movies that I haven't seen that I've been wanting to see.
Yes, exactly, yeah. And there's tons of TV. There's, like, the live shows.
Yeah.
There's UFC on there. Apparently now there's WE, I was told. I know not everybody cares about wrestling, but whatever. I like old wrestling. I like watching old ones that, like, from the back of the day, like when the wrestling was good and the people were believable and it wasn't all campy. I could still watch that stuff and enjoy it. I can't watch the current product. It's too ridiculous. It's too lame. Just supermodel guys pretending to fucking fight. We've been going for like 34 minutes, man. Nobody's bothered us. Well, I don't know about you, but I feel like with this like 20-minute silence that we've had, you guys aren't going to hear it because I just cut it out. That we're about done.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was a poor showing.
It's going to suck because it's going to be cut together a little bit. You guys are going to deal with that. I apologize.
Yeah, but like...
We had good intentions.
just makes me realize how uninteresting we really are. Like, it's not about the podcast, it's more about my own self-esteem and my own psyche.
No, we had it. We just it was hard to keep the rhythm because we had to keep fucking stopping. Like I thought things were rolling really well, you know, and all of a sudden, oh, gotta stop. Oh, let's restart. And then you're like backtracking a little bit. And
I've had first dates like that where I think, oh, it's going great, it's amazing, and the other person's like, you know what,
so
not
much.
great.
Well,
I went on the very first date I ever went on. This is embarrassing. There was this girl in high school, like right from grade 9. The day I laid eyes on her, I thought she was awesome, right? And I don't know much about her now or see her around, but just she's not interesting to me anymore. But she, so and I had eyes for her, right? And it was clear. And she asked me out on a date. I was like, yeah, let's go.
she asked you up.
Yeah. She's like, you want to go see a movie? I was like, yeah, we'll go see a movie. She's like, all right. She's like, you know, do you mind if my friends come? I was like, no, that's cool. We'll all go. I know your friends. We're all in the same class. So we went. And it was that girl and 2 of her friends. And so we end up to the movies and I got dropped off. And it turns out that the girl that I really liked was setting me up with her other friend that I had no interest in whatsoever. And I was really going to the movies with her and her 2 friends.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's painful.
To the point that her mother, like, dropped me off at home, too. Like, her mother picked us up. Just the 2 of us picked us up.
Who paid? Did you all pay for yourselves?
I think we all might have paid for ourselves. We were in grade 9. I think we might have paid for ourselves.
Yeah, they don't expect you to have a job or anything at that point.
And, like, it was clearly this girl's first date she's ever been on, too, right? We were young, but, like, it was my first date. It was definitely her first date. It might have been the last, too. But, her mom picked us up, and, like, her mom had, like, pride in her eyes. Like, oh, she's on a date with a boy. And I just called her by the wrong last name. I was like, thank you, Mrs. And I said the wrong last name. She's like, the kid don't even know my daughter's fucking name.
I'm never going to see this boy again.
Yeah.
I just want somebody to take her off my hands. Alright. Well, I think we should just sign off.
Yeah, I think so.
I hear music playing.
Bananas are on sale at Zara's, everybody, 49 cents a pound.
Oh, guys, get out there. Do not miss this sale. This is the jam right here. Bananas. We just had some cheap-ass steaks from Food Basics. Not cheap in quality, cheap in price.
Hey, you never know. You could get sponsored by Food Basics.
Yeah, I don't know if I want that.
Bags of potatoes for free.
Yeah, I got enough bags of potatoes right now. We discovered after we bought a bag that I have a bag and a half at home. So,
anybody hungry, come on over.
yeah, potatoes for everybody.
Yeah.
I'll make up some fries. We'll just all sit around eating fries.
Jesus had bread, we got spuds.
So this is our first USC Walking Dead free podcast, man.
No, it's not.
No, but like that we haven't talked. I can say the word. I talked about it in the beginning.
No, it's like Beetlejuice. If you say it 3 times, it comes, and you
Well, I've
mention
only
it
said
in
it
the beginning.
twice.
Yeah.
So yeah, we haven't want to talk to any fights. So, we'll talk some in the future. We got the 420 card coming up. It's going to be good. So we'll see what happens. We'll maybe do a rundown then.
It would be hilarious if Nick Diaz was on that card. Like, everybody who was caught.
I want to start talking about it, but I just talked about how we have a free UFC free.
But that'd be funny though.
And there I go. I just said it 3 times.
If all the fighters, see, I wasn't wrong. If all the fighters who have been caught trying to cross borders or with marijuana in their system or whatever, if all of them were fighting on that card, that'd be hilarious.
I don't know. I'm cutting this shit out. No UFC. All right. I hope you've enjoyed Chill Time with Steve and Chris. I'm Steve.
And Chris.
And we will see you later.